Have you ever felt completely fine only to discover that something inside your body has been quietly betraying you for years? I'm Dr. Mark Ellis, and what I'm about to reveal could literally change the way you think about your health tonight. Right now, your kidneys are working harder than most people realize, filtering gallons of blood every single day. And yet a shocking number of Americans over 50 have no idea that their kidneys are silently failing. Imagine losing nearly 70% of their function before any warning signs appear. No pain, no swelling, no alarm, just a quiet, invisible decline that could one day force you into dialysis. This isn't meant to scare you. It's meant to wake you up, because understanding this could save your life. And tonight I'm going to show you exactly which everyday foods, drinks, and habits are quietly damaging your kidneys. And more importantly, I'll guide you through simple, scientifically backed strategies that can protect and even help your kidneys heal, giving you the chance to stay healthy, energized, and independent well into your 70s and 80s. But before we dive in, picture this: each choice you make at breakfast, lunch, and dinner is either helping your kidneys survive or pushing them closer to the edge. And by the end of this video, you'll know precisely how to tip the scale in their favor. Let's begin with one of the most popular superfoods on the planet, avocados. On the surface, they look harmless, creamy, and packed with healthy fats. But for anyone over 50 with kidneys already under pressure, this green gem can silently become a hidden danger. Take Margaret, a 61-year-old retired teacher who loves starting her mornings with avocado toast. Over several months, she noticed fatigue and occasional swelling in her ankles, but she brushed it off as normal aging until a routine check revealed her creatinine levels were creeping up. The culprit, a single medium avocado, contains roughly 975 milligrams of potassium, almost half the daily limit recommended for someone with reduced kidney function. When kidneys struggle to filter potassium efficiently, the excess builds up in the bloodstream, creating a dangerous condition called hyperkalemia, which can disrupt heart rhythm and stress the body silently. Scientific research confirms that for adults over 50, repeated consumption of high potassium foods without moderation can accelerate the decline of nephron function, the tiny filters in your kidneys that keep your blood clean. The good news is you don't have to give up avocados entirely. Simple strategies like limiting yourself to a quarter of a medium avocado, pairing it with lower potassium fruits, or even soaking chopped avocado briefly in water can reduce potassium content and protect your kidneys. But knowing this alone isn't enough, because there's another hidden danger lurking in everyday foods that many people consider completely safe, and it can quietly push your kidneys even closer to the edge. Next, let's talk about bananas, another fruit often praised as a quick, healthy snack. They seem innocent, but for adults over 50 with compromised kidneys, they can silently overload your system. Consider Robert, a 65-year-old engineer who loves starting his day with a banana smoothie. Over weeks, he noticed increased fatigue and mild swelling in his legs, yet he assumed it was just aging. When his routine lab work came back, his creatinine and potassium levels were higher than normal, signaling strain on his kidneys. One medium banana contains approximately 422 milligrams of potassium, and most people don't stop at just one. Mix 2 or 3 into a smoothie, and suddenly you've consumed over 200 milligrams of potassium, easily surpassing safe daily limits for someone with reduced kidney function. High potassium levels, especially in those with struggling kidneys, can cause hyperkalemia, potentially affecting heart rhythm and causing silent cumulative damage. The solution isn't about giving up bananas completely, it's about portion control and pairing. Enjoy a smaller banana, combine it with low potassium fruits like apples, berries, or pears, or simply spread consumption throughout the day. Even these small adjustments can ease the workload on your kidneys significantly. But just knowing how to eat bananas safely isn't the full picture, because lurking behind everyday choices are other foods that appear harmless, yet quietly stress your kidneys more than you realize, and most people never see it coming. Now let's turn our attention to oranges and orange juice fruits. Many consider the ultimate health boosters, packed with vitamin C and antioxidants. But for adults over 50 with vulnerable kidneys, they can quietly become risky. Take Linda, a 68-year-old retired nurse who loves starting her mornings with a large glass of fresh orange juice. She felt energetic and assumed it was a healthy routine until her lab results revealed elevated creatinine and potassium levels, indicating her kidneys were under strain. A single medium orange contains about 237 milligrams of potassium, and a cup of orange juice can add nearly 500 milligrams more. For someone with compromised kidney function, drinking just one large glass can push potassium intake dangerously high. On top of that, oranges are rich in oxalates compounds that can contribute to kidney stone formation, adding yet another layer of stress. The science is clear: excessive potassium and oxalate intake in older adults can accelerate kidney damage, increasing the workload on nephron filters and raising the risk of hyperkalemia. Practical strategies are simple yet effective: limit portion size, opt for whole oranges instead of concentrated juice, and mix with lower potassium fruits like berries, apples, or pears. Even these small changes can protect your kidneys while still enjoying the flavor you love. But only knowing how to handle oranges isn't the end of the story, because just beyond this seemingly healthy habit lies another group of everyday foods that silently push your kidneys closer to serious trouble, and most people never suspect it. Next, let's talk about dried fruits such as prunes, raisins, and dried apricots, often marketed as healthy snacks or convenient additions to breakfast bowls. On the surface, they seem perfect concentrated flavor, packed with vitamins and fiber. But for adults over 50 with compromised kidneys, they can quietly become a hidden threat. Consider Michael, a 66-year-old construction supervisor who routinely added a handful of raisins to his morning oatmeal. Over several weeks, he noticed unusual fatigue and mild swelling in his ankles, but he didn't connect it to his diet. Lab tests later showed elevated creatinine and potassium levels, signaling kidney stress. The reason is simple yet alarming. When water is removed, potassium and sugar become concentrated. 1 cup of prunes can contain up to 1,270 milligrams of potassium, more than half the safe daily limit for someone with reduced kidney function. Without adequate hydration, the kidneys must work overtime to filter these concentrated minerals, increasing the risk of hyperkalemia and kidney stone formation. Research confirms that even moderate daily intake of high potassium dried fruits can accelerate nephron fatigue in older adults. The solution is straightforward: stick with fresh fruit in moderation, avoid dried fruit if you have kidney concerns, and always pair with plenty of water to help your kidneys manage the load. But just knowing this isn't enough, because right after these seemingly innocent dried treats, there's another group of everyday vegetables that appear healthy but can silently overwhelm your kidneys, and most people completely overlook them. Now let's shift our focus to vegetables, which most people assume are always safe, but some can quietly stress your kidneys if consumed in large amounts after 50. Take spinach, for example, a superfood praised for vitamins and antioxidants. Eleanor, a 63-year-old retired librarian, loved adding fresh spinach to her salads daily. She felt healthy, yet routine labs revealed elevated creatinine levels. Why just half a cup of spinach contains up to 350 milligrams of oxalates and about 558 milligrams of potassium compounds that can crystallize in the kidneys, contributing to kidney stones and silently increasing nephron workload. Then there are potatoes and sweet potato staples in many diets, each medium baked potato carrying about 610 milligrams of potassium and sweet potatoes about 438 milligrams. If boiled and soaked properly, some potassium can be reduced, but processed forms like fries or chips often pack excessive sodium, adding stress to already compromised kidneys. Beetroot is another example. Half a cup cooked provides roughly 305 milligrams of potassium and contains nitrates, which in individuals with reduced kidney function can lower filtration pressure, allowing creatinine to accumulate. And let's not forget tomatoes and tomato products, which are concentrated sources of potassium and lycopene, subtly increasing kidney burden when consumed in sauces, pastes, or juices. The key takeaway: even vegetables marketed as healthy can quietly overwork your kidneys if portion control and preparation methods are ignored. But knowing this alone isn't sufficient, because just beyond these vegetables lies a category of drinks that many people consume daily, completely unaware of the hidden damage they inflict on kidney function. Next, we need to talk about drinks, something many of us consume daily without a second thought, yet they can silently damage your kidneys. Both regular and diet sodas are particularly concerning. Sugar in liquid form enters the bloodstream, rapidly forcing kidneys to work overtime to filter excess glucose, which over time can damage the tiny filters known as nephrons. Jack, a 67-year-old accountant, loved having a soda with lunch, and another in the afternoon. He had no obvious symptoms, but routine blood work revealed rising creatinine levels, showing that his kidneys were quietly under pressure. Diet sodas might seem like a safer option, but studies indicate that daily consumption is linked to a 67% higher risk of developing type 2 diabetes, and they still contain additives and artificial sweeteners that stress kidneys. On top of that, many sodas are loaded with phosphorus additives absorbed more efficiently than natural phosphorus, which can lead to calcium deposits in blood vessels, increasing the risk of heart attack and further kidney strain. Alcohol is another silent threat, causing inflammation, impairing kidney function, and increasing the toxic burden in the body. For seniors, even moderate consumption can lead to dehydration and unstable blood sugar, further taxing the kidneys overnight. Practical guidance is simple: eliminate or drastically limit soda and alcohol intake, and always consult your healthcare provider regarding safe levels based on your kidney function. But just knowing this isn't enough, because right after drinks we move to a category that seems harmless: nuts and seeds. Yet some of these common favorites are quietly overloading your kidneys, and most people never realize it. Now let's discuss nuts and seeds, a category that many people assume is always healthy, but for adults over 50 with compromised kidneys, some of them can quietly overload your system. Take almonds, peanuts, and cashews, for example, widely consumed for their taste and perceived heart benefits. Susan, a 64-year-old retiree, enjoyed a handful of almonds every afternoon. Over time, her creatinine levels rose without any noticeable symptoms. The problem lies in their composition. Almonds contain roughly 136 milligrams of phosphorus and 28 milligrams of potassium per ounce, and are high in oxalates, which can form kidney stones in susceptible individuals. Peanuts and cashews present similar risks with high phosphorus, potassium, and oxalate content that silently stresses already struggling kidneys. On the other hand, not all nuts are harmful. Macadamia nuts, pecans, Brazil nuts, walnuts, and flax seeds can actually support kidney health. These options are lower in potassium and phosphorus, rich in omega-3 fatty acids, polyphenols, and selenium, which help reduce inflammation, protect nephron function, and even support antioxidant defense. A practical approach is moderation. Enjoy the kidney-friendly nuts in small portions, and for higher-risk nuts, consider soaking or limiting intake to a few times a week while drinking plenty of water. Even small adjustments can make a huge difference. But understanding this alone isn't the full solution, because just beyond the nuts and seeds lie the 7 bedtime snacks that can actively help your kidneys recover and lower creatinine while you sleep, and many people are completely unaware of their power. Finally, let's explore 7 bedtime snacks that can actively help protect your kidneys and even lower creatinine levels while you sleep. These are surprisingly simple foods that are gentle on the kidneys, yet provide hydration, fiber, and antioxidants. Take applesauce, for instance, a favorite from childhood. Plain unsweetened applesauce contains only about 90 milligrams of potassium per half cup, making it safe even for those in later stages of kidney disease. The soluble fiber pectin helps bind toxins like urea before they enter the bloodstream, giving your kidneys a much-needed break overnight. Cucumber sticks are another powerhouse. Over 95% water, low in potassium and phosphorus, they hydrate and flush toxins, while calming inflammation in kidney tissue. Then there's celery with hummus, which combines gentle plant-based protein, hydration, and minerals like magnesium and calcium that support nephron function and reduce metabolic acidosis. Plain rice cakes provide light, low-phosphorus energy without spiking creatinine. Apple slices sprinkled with cinnamon help stabilize blood sugar and protect delicate kidney tissue. Air-popped popcorn, plain and unflavored, delivers fiber and polyphenols to reduce oxidative stress. And finally, a small portion of nuts like walnuts or flax seeds, when eaten earlier in the evening, offers omega-3s and antioxidants that further support kidney repair. Simple swaps like these may feel small, but for your kidneys, they make a massive difference. And just knowing these snacks exist isn't enough, because the final, often overlooked dietary and lifestyle choices, if ignored, could determine whether your kidneys thrive or face serious complications, and it's something nearly everyone misses.